Hey, what's going on? It's time for another Real Table podcast. Fuck. Is this episode 16 or 17? I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna I'll just check afterwards. But I really should, I really should check before I start recording. Why don't I do that? Why am I not smart? No, I'm just kidding. I am smart in like 3 areas of life. Baseball, sometimes hockey, and sometimes music. So it's really like 1.5, 1 3/4, maybe 2 on a good day. Anyways, where am I at? I'm driving out. I just got off work at the stadium. It's going to be a shorter podcast. I'm a little out of breath since I'm trying to meet the deadline. I know I didn't record and upload anything on Wednesday. I'm sorry. I just was really friggin' tired. And I waited too long. I got to get a friggin' schedule. And anytime I start recording, that's when people start blowing my phone up. I do want to do an experiment. Well, hold on. Let me put this on. There we go. I want to run an experiment where I don't do anything. I just sit on my ass and just see how many people message me. Probably going to be none. And then I start recording and just see how many people message me. It's probably a billion. Or we're a minute and a half in, nothing. I haven't got anything yet. So, we're getting somewhere. Maybe, kind of, not really. Anyways, I just got off work at the stadium. I was walking really fast because I wanted to get out. I'm really tired. Basically, 10:45 to 11 between the 2 jobs today. Oh, dude, I gotta tell you something. So, today was fucking legendary. I made so much on, I took 7 deliveries. What did I don't even know how much I made. I haven't counted it all. It's over $50 on 7 deliveries. I got a 10 and a 20 on 2 tips alone. So on 2 deliveries, I made $30. So you know what I'm gonna do? On my last delivery, I was like, you know what? You know how like, who's honking at me? Did I do something? That was weird. I was walking back to my car on my last delivery when I got like $6 or something. And I'm like, you know what? You know when like guys accomplish a feat like in baseball, they'll take the cleats or like the jersey and they'll put it in the Hall of Fame. I was like, yeah, I should do that. So I'm literally going to retire this paper and pen. I'm going to retire this thing. I'm going to write the date and the total on it. I'm going to tape the pen to the paper. And I'm going to go get a picture frame and frame it. And it's going to go down in the Hall of Fame. Seriously, I was not looking forward to going to work today. And I got there. And sure enough, it's like, you need to clean all the trays. It's like, oh, shit. All of them. It's like 150 of them. Sure enough, I only got like 30 done. But I don't think I was supposed to do all of them. I think I was only supposed to do like maybe a third of them. But anyways, first delivery. Actually, hold on. Let me get this shit out. Let me read this. First time I'm reading something off a piece of paper on the podcast. The first delivery I took was worth $60. And then I got 9 on that one. And then the second one was $80. I got $4 on that one. Bullshit. It's a multi-million-dollar house, dude. You're buying $80 worth of fucking pizza and shit. You can cough up at least $5 to $10, alright? For you, it should be like minimum 10. Blah, 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 blah. Then I took a $93 order down the line. Got 20 on that one. And before that, I took a $33 order. Got 10. I'm bragging about this because this shit never happens. It never happens. The lowest I got was 4 today. $4. So I'm literally going to retire this paper and pen. Maybe even frame it. I'm going to write the total down and the date. And I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. Alright? I'm trying to like just cheer myself up. That sounded kind of weird to say out loud. Because I don't know. I mean, it's the little things that keep not just me, but I think it's the little things that keep everybody going. So I'm just trying to find little positive, one little victories in life, one little victory by Rush. And if maybe eventually down the line I'll like take a picture of it when I frame it and stuff. But Anyways, since I didn't get to talk about it in the last podcast, I went to Colorado. Me and my dad went there. We drove up there. It was actually an interesting road trip. I went to bed around 3, 4 a.m., woke up around 6 a.m., and we got in the car. It's like a 12.5-hour drive from my house to Denver. If you add in all the rest stops, like getting food and all that crap, it's probably around 14 hours, maybe. Also, depending on traffic and how fast you're going. My dad has a Prius, so we weren't going too fast. On the way there. On the way back, we were going a little bit faster. So anyways, so we left, and we're listening to Tool, we're talking, everything's great. We took a route I'd never been on before. The scenery was amazing. I'd like to actually go back out there and maybe like just drive around. There's really cool stuff out there. Cool rocks and mountains and everything. Mountain rock, or rock mountains or whatever. These curvy roads, and there's like a forest back there. It's at least a couple-hour drive, though. That's kind of a bummer. But anyway, so we're driving, and eventually about 3 hours in, maybe 2.5, 3 hours in, we get to the point. We were in Holbrook, Arizona. I've never even been to Holbrook. I never even knew that was a name, or that was a place. So we get there, and we turn the corner, and it's just flat desert. There's nothing there. And I'm just like, oh, God, because there's nothing to look at. Now I'm starting to get tired, and I'm like, all right. Well, then we crossed the border, and we were in New Mexico. And I'd never been in New Mexico before, so I was like, oh, this is cool. And before the trip, I was like, hey, maybe we can... What the fuck? Oh, jeez. I forgot about the light rail. Cameo appearance by the light rail, ladies and gentlemen. All right, see you later. So anyways, I was joking with my dad. I was like, hey, Breaking Bad was filmed in Albuquerque. And he's like, he didn't even know. He's seen the whole show. He didn't know it was set in Albuquerque. I think he said he thought it was set in, like, I don't remember where he thought it was set. But anyways, he's like, we don't have time. I was like, let's go to Walter White's house. He's like, no, we can't do that. So we get there. So I take a nap. A little, like, 30 minutes after we cross the border between Arizona and New Mexico. I wake up, and we're pulling into a McDonald's parking lot, and I look over at my dad, and he looks dead tired. He looks like he's gonna fall asleep. If he laid his head down and closed his eyes, he'd fall asleep. And apparently, he almost did fall asleep a couple times while we were driving, which is why he had to pull over. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I can't make it. I can't drive anymore. And I'm like, well, I can drive. And yeah, he didn't trust me to drive. So I was like, hold on, let's go get some food and let's talk about it. And I couldn't convince him. So it was like and it's an hour ahead. So it was like 3:30 when we got there. We wanted to leave early enough so we can go visit my aunt and my cousin, maybe even my uncle. I haven't seen my cousin in years. I haven't seen my other uncle since I was even a kid, maybe. But if we stayed, then we weren't going to see them because my aunt was free the next day, but everyone else was busy. And I couldn't convince him. He's like, we're staying the night here in Albuquerque. We were in Albuquerque. I'd never been in, Albuquerque, New Mexico, let alone New Mexico. So I thought it was really cool. So anyways, we go and check into the hotel, like Motel 6 or whatever. And we're just laying there watching TV. We're watching the Red Sox game. And I'm like, hey, you know what? The Stanley Cup playoffs is on. Game 1. Blues and Bruins. And he's like, all right, cool. So we waited a couple hours and we were watching Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was just really strange how it unfolded. Had someone come up to me on January 3rd, which was when the Blues were in last place in the NHL, and said, hey, you're going to watch the Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'd be like, bullshit, what? No, why would I be in New Mexico for any reason at all? Not that I have anything against New Mexico, but like, why would I go there? I mean, really, they don't have any sports team at all. I've said this before. No one gave a shit about New Mexico until Breaking Bad was filmed there. Now that place is the whole thing is like a tourist site. So, anyways, so after the game, I went over to Buffalo Wild Wings, or I guess it's called B-Dubs. I got some wings there, watched the highlights, and then went to sleep. And then the next morning we woke up again at 6 a.m. and then drove the rest of the 6.5 hours to Denver. And Denver's a nice place. The Rocky Mountains were cool, very big, very intense, but they were cool to look at. They were cool to drive by. We visited my aunt's house. Where does she live? In Larkspur or something? Larkspur, Colorado. You know, nice little community, but it's up in the forest. And apparently they have bears just walking around. My aunt showed me a picture of a bear just walking in her backyard. And I told her, I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I don't care if this house is free. I can't do it. I could not live if they're in a house where a bear could just be mad chilling out in the backyard. I couldn't do it. And then the other thing, I'd never been to her house before, but they move, you know, quite a bit. And we're just walking around. The house is really nice. They had a basement, and I'm like, I don't like basements. And they're like, why? My aunt and my dad are like, why? And I'm like, dude, basements are scary. When you watch a demon movie, where does the demon drag the victim? To the basement. They don't drag the victim to the living room or the kitchen or the laundry room. Where's the scariest place in the house? The basement or the attic. But the attic is too much work for a demon. Dragging someone downstairs, the momentum's already going down, so they just drag them to the basement. Granted, we went down into the basement, and it's like a really, you know, cool man cave with like 2 or 3 rooms down there. And my cousin her room is down there, like at the bottom way end of the basement room or whatever. And I'm like, dude, there's no way I could do that. There's no way I could live in the basement. I hope everyone can hear me. There's no way I could live in the basement at the far end. Yeah, there is a window that you can kind of just open, crawl up, you know, and out. But there's just no way. I would be freaked out. I think I'd just rather sleep in the living room than sleep in the basement. I couldn't do it. So anyways, like I said, I don't do basements. I don't do bears that walk around the forest, and I don't do basements. So anyways, the house was really nice. And then anyways, so we left and went to the hotel, checked in, and then we went to the stadium. We got there a little late. We didn't miss the game, but we got there like 40 minutes before the game. I wanted to get there like an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours beforehand to really get the stadium experience. But it was very cool. It's all brick. It's very old school. It's in downtown Denver. The colors are cool, and I'm looking at all the, you know, players, you know, last names, all the achievements in Colorado Rockies history. It's Coors Field, by the way. We're just walking around, taking it all in. So I bought I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but every stadium I go to, because I'm trying to go to all 30 before I die. And then once I do that, I'm going to go to all the hockey arenas. I buy a little mini bat at every stadium I go to. That's my thing. And I've been to 7 stadiums so far. All California, and then Arizona and Colorado. I got those crossed off the list. So I bought a little mini bat, and the seats were great. The seats were like 19 rows from the Diamondbacks dugout. So it was great. We sat down, we bought a foot-long hot dog. It was like a normal hot dog, it's just a foot long. But it was cold. It was 51 degrees out, so you had to eat it really quick. So everything was good. The Diamondbacks lost the game, by the way. It was not a great game. I could go on for 10 minutes about why that game we should have won, but I'm not going to. I don't want to bore all 4 people listening to this podcast. Kidding, totally kidding. I have 15 subscribers, so there's at least maybe 7 or 8 people checking this out right now. Biggest shout out. So around the 3rd or 4th inning, it starts to, you know, the wind's been constant. It's just blowing right into my ear and hitting my, but I'm also blocking the wind for my dad. Then it starts to rain, light, and then it starts coming down harder. Pretty soon, it's 44 degrees out, the wind is blowing, and the rain is coming down, but it's hitting right into our face, coming at us. Not going away, coming at us. Game didn't stop. They played through it. And me and my dad were just like, I was going to go to that game with no jacket. Thank God my dad pretty much made me wear a jacket. That would have been the worst experience if I had no jacket. It was freezing. And I had to buy a Colorado Rockies jacket. But here's the funny thing. my dad he got up and he bought a Rockies blanket. He went up and bought it, and he's like, I don't care what I look like, I'm freezing. So I got underneath with him. And the best part was, I was wondering, because we got there, I noticed the concourse where you walk around was really big, it was really wide. I'm like, why is that? And I think it's because it's pretty normal that there are weather problems in Colorado, especially Coors Field. So they know people come up to the stands, so they just made it bigger, which is, if that is the reason, then kudos to me that I figured that shit out. But anyways, so we spent a majority of the game under that blanket, and there was nobody. We were like the only people in our section. Everyone either left and stood at the top or sat underneath, like the first 5 rows where they weren't getting hit by rain. Because it's like, hey, we want to get our money's worth. So we sat out and froze in the rain. But it was great. It was really cool. The stadium was awesome. The colors were cool. The trees in center field were awesome. I got a bunch of cool pictures. And I would recommend it. And I'm glad we got to go during the rainstorm, or whatever you want to call it, because we got the full experience. And it's funny, because the day before and the day after the game, the weather was great. So, of course, when we go, then it's just, not hell on earth, but it's like, oh my God. Because, you imagine, like, you go to a game already, and it's just, some people are, like, bored with it. Now, imagine going to a game that's already, you may look at it as boring, but now it's freezing cold outside. It's not, that's how, like, you can tell a true fan from, like, a casual fan, by how much they are staying and they love the game. But, yeah, like I said, it was something else. The stadium was great. The PA announcer, I've heard, my dad told me that he's heard that you can smell, people have told me that you can smell weed just walking around. We didn't smell anything. But it was also raining, it was really damp, so probably made sense. But the PA announcer, dude, that guy sounded like he took the biggest hit. Like, right before he had to speak, it's like he took a big hit. Hey, Colorado Rocky fans, turning attention into left field, and we'll go to our infield reporter, Chad, when he's with a fan right now. It's like, oh my God, man, you are, like, way too relaxed for this shit. It's freezing cold outside. You're acting like you just got, like, the munchies and you're sitting on your couch eating Doritos, watching reruns of Family Guy, when in reality, we're all freezing our nuts off. But it was, like I said, it was a great experience. I got a few souvenirs, actually. I got a little mini bat. I found this little, while my dad was buying a blanket, it was a cool blanket too, by the way. I bought this little baseball. It has all the team logos on it. I don't know. It just looked cool. Cool to me. And then at the very end, because during the game, I was thinking, I was like, should I buy a jersey? Should I? Because that's one thing I want to get into. Problem is, it's really expensive. So if I do it, it's not like collecting hats. Hats are like $35, $40. Jerseys are easily over $100, especially if you have a name on the back. So at the end of the game, and dude, I took pictures. Our hair is completely wet. To really drive home the point of how cold and damp we were, our hair was just completely wet and everything. So anyways, at the end, I walk into the store, and I wanted to get a Matt Holliday jersey. Since he was, I remember watching him as a kid, and he's probably, one of my favorite Rocky, players. They didn't have his jersey, and I'm like, really? What the hell? So I was thinking, what else do they have? And they had Todd Helton. And I'm like, okay, I tried the jersey, I was a little big, but I'm like, I'll grow into it. I'm going to have this thing for, forever. And what really sold it for me was on the side, on the arm, it had a World Series 2007 patch, or 07, excuse me. And that was pretty much what sold it for me. So I bought it, and those are my 3 souvenirs: the bat, the ball, and then the jersey. And then we went home. I didn't get to go to Pepsi Center where the Avalanche play. I just wanted to take a picture of it. I think we drove by it though. We drove by where the Broncos play. Man, it's literally right next to the freeway. It actually looked pretty cool. Are all football stadiums right next to the freeway? Is that a thing, or is that just, ironically, the two stadiums I've seen? Because Cardinal Stadium's right by the freeway. Denver, the Broncos, it's literally right next to the freeway. There's probably like 10 feet separating the end of the building to the freeway. At least with the Cardinals, there's like maybe like a half a mile separating them. Maybe 3/4 of a mile. I don't know. Maybe it is a mile. I don't know. But anyways, well, oh god, I lost my train of thought. God damn it! I was talking about stadiums. Did I really just lose my train of thought? Yes, I did. Alright, well, it's been a long day. It's basically been since 10:45. I clocked in at 10:47. I decided to have chocolate milk in the morning, and that caused me to be late, which I still don't know how that happened. And then, but I stayed late unintentionally at the restaurant. I didn't want to, but they were so busy they couldn't, like, you know, count me out or clock me out or whatever. And today was a good game. Diamondbacks won. We beat the Mets. We were down 5-1 in the 8th inning, and then the Mets made a stupid mistake and cost them 4 runs. We tied the game at 5, and then we won in 11 innings. It was a good game. We had lost not 9. We had lost 5 in a row, and this is we just needed this. We needed a win, we needed a victory, and we got it. And anyways, what the fuck was I talking about before with the stadiums and everything? Oh, okay, I remember. We were driving back. God, I'm stupid. Man, I gotta work on that. I gotta work on not being stupid. All right. So anyways, we were driving back, and the whole plan, really, from the get-go was my dad would take the first shift. I was supposed to fall asleep. And then 3-4 hours in, or maybe 6 hours, he would go to sleep, and I would drive the rest of the way. Well, when we drove there, that plan got messed up, because I stayed up the first 3.5 hours. So I went to sleep, and I feel like I could have drove, but he, didn't want to, so the second time when we were driving back, I tried to go to sleep early, and I did a little bit. I stayed up like the first 40 minutes, maybe an hour, and I tried to go to sleep, but I don't know if I fell asleep for more than 20 minutes. I just kept waking up. So anyways, he drove the first half like 6.5, maybe 7 hours, and then I drove the second half, and I was prepared. He's just like, "Are you sure you can make it?" And I'm like, "I got this." Because I have, I know for a fact I haven't talked about this before. I have a playlist, multiple playlists, like 3, 4, maybe 5 playlists on my iPod. I take every song from my favorite bands, so Rush, Dream Theater, Metallica, Pearl Jam. I'm working on a Primus one. I'm thinking about doing Tool. I make a playlist of every song, and then when we get on the road, I start at the very beginning and just listen to all the songs in order. Subconsciously, I can plan out, okay, after 3 hours, we'll be at the beginning of the 4th album. And it just makes the trip go by a little bit quicker and a little more, it's just easier. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, I've driven from Phoenix to California, like to the beach, so many times. I know it's like a 6.5 hour drive, maybe 7. So I've listened to the playlist, and I know, all right, by the time we get on the freeway and get out to the beach, I know we're going to be about, the 10th album, maybe 11th album by Rush. I've done it with Pearl Jam, System of a Down. Oh, System of a Down, that was the other one. I've done it a little with Metallica. I haven't done Dream Theater yet. So that's what I did. My dad went into the passenger seat. I got my iPod out and played it from the very beginning. And we picked what song. And my dad got it right. He picked the exact song. Because we were like, all right, what song are we going to be on when we pull into the driveway? And he picked, and he got it spot on right with 4 minutes to spare. It was very impressive. I was off. I overshot it. But, it's better to overshoot it and then arrive early than to pick an early one and then show up late, if you ask me. But it was a lot of fun. There you go. I have the light on right now. I got a fucking Z or something at the top of my head. I don't like that. But anyways, it was a very fun trip. And then the next day, what did I do the next day? Oh, I remember. I got lunch with my uncle and cousin that I haven't seen in a while, in a few years actually. And then afterwards, I went to my cousin's graduation. I'm talking about a lot of cousins on this podcast. I should call this like my podcast cousin or whatever. Something with the word cousin in it. Anyways, I went to my cousin's graduation. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of the family together. We had like maybe 15 people total. Maybe between 15 and 20. 20 might be a little much, but we definitely had around 15. It was fun. We all we met at Outback Steakhouse. I already ate since I just left that burger place, Fuddruckers. Which, if you've never been, is there a Fuddruckers outside of Arizona? Or outside of Phoenix? I honestly don't know. This is why I need to, have a computer in front of me so I can look this shit up. Because I'm pretty much, metaphorically naked right now. I can't look anything up. I have nothing. I have no notebook. I got nothing. So, hats off to me that I'm able to do this shit off the top of my head. Second of all, so I went to the graduation. It was a lot of fun. And then afterwards, I went over to Alex's house and we recorded Corn and Cock. That was a lot of fun. That was episode 32. Yeah, I think it's 32, I believe. And he just uploaded episode 31. Oh, I gotta post that shit. We're trying to get back into it. Well, actually, you know what? He's going to London. Well, no way. I think he's going to Hawaii first in a couple weeks. Then he's coming back. And then he's going to go to London in July, I think. So I don't know what we're going to do. We got to record a lot of Corn and Cock to make up for that time. Or maybe I can do a solo thing on Corn and Cock. I don't know. Yeah, check out the Corn and Cock podcast. We got 31 or 32 episodes. We got a couple specials. They're a little longer. Corn does amazing drawings. We're on this thing called Discord. I don't really know what it is exactly. It's like Facebook, but not really. You talk to people on there and socialize and communicate. So I joined the Discord, server. They're all very nice people. Really, they just talk and just share their art or drawings or just, things that they do. Like, I'll go on there and post my drum videos and, talk to other people. I've met a couple of nice people out there on the Discord server. But anyways, where was I going with this? But anyways, with the Corn and Cock podcast, it's very interactive. This is as low budget as you can get. In fact, the budget for this is pretty much nothing. Unless you want to count my phone bill that I'm paying to record this with my phone, then I guess there is some sort of a budget of $65-$70 or whatever. But anyways, I lost my train of thought again a little bit. This thing should be called Train of Thought. Oh, I got a bunch of funny title ideas. I don't know what I'm going to name this thing. Lost in New York, Train of Thought, or Train of Thought Lost in New York. I don't know. I'm really tired. I'm going to go hang out with somebody after this, or a couple people. Should I even do that? I feel like I should just go home, because I got to go to work tomorrow morning, too. Maybe a day game. I don't really know if I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I am, but I don't want to wake up early, or a little early. I don't know. My definition of early is very different from probably everyone else's definition of early. Just gonna throw that out there right now. But anyways, so what do I have planned? Just abandoning whatever I was talking about a couple minutes ago. Fuck that. What do I got going on? Oh, and then so after Thursday we recorded, and then on Friday I was not scheduled at the stadium, and a good friend of mine was throwing a graduation party, so we all went over there, and it was a lot of fun. It was almost like a bro night. It was like 75% a bro night, because at the end of me and a few friends went swimming. Most people didn't. It's still fun though. At the end of the night, we got the video games out and we played. I don't even know it. It didn't feel like long. It felt like 40 minutes, but I know we played for easily over an hour. Between like an hour and a half to 2 hours. We're playing Super Smash Bros. A lot of fun, let me tell you, a lot of fun. I'm getting really good, because I've been playing Super Smash Bros. For a while now on the Wii. I'm going to get shit for this. I don't really remember which one. It's like Super Smash Bros., but I don't know which one it is exactly. All I know is that I'm Wario. Whatever Wario is in, that's the one I play. And I'm finally figuring out his moves. Because before, all I would do is get his motorcycle out and just ride it back and forth, and everybody would hate me for it. But I didn't know any other moves. So finally, I've been learning other moves, and I'm not like a threat, don't get me wrong. I'm not even close compared to like Aaron. Aaron's like a god, on that game. But anyways, I'm like to the point I can compete. In fact, I've won 3 games, but a couple of them it's like, oh shit, because what I realized was I'm not like avoiding or dodging the fight, but nobody would come after me. So pretty soon I'd be the second to last guy. I made so many finals appearances. How about that? Is that a better way to put it? I made so many Stanley Cup final appearances, but I only won 3 times. I think that's a better way to put it. Oh man, that felt good. Alright, there's a person parking right behind me. Maybe like 100 feet behind me. And they turned the lights off. Well, that's interesting. And they're not getting out of the car. What the fuck? Alright, what we got? Real Table Podcast. Goosebumps edition. What the fuck? Literally, this car pulled up behind me, like 100 feet behind me, and turned its lights off, and no one's getting out of the car. Is somebody fucking back there? Are they like making out? This ain't Make Out Reef. Get out of here. Don't be making out in front of my house. Well, actually, no, it's not really in front of my house, but it's on the street in front of my house. What the fuck? No one's getting out. Okay, that's kind of weird. I gotta get out of the car and go back in the house. Alright, this podcast took an interesting turn. So basically, I can't, I just have to keep talking with my eyes glued onto the, yeah, you know what? Oh, fuck you, car. Oh, I forgot. This car, look, check this out. When it's on, you can't manually lock it. You have to, well, manually. You can't, you have to go up and turn it off or lock it yourself. Actually, what the fuck? Good thing I got the car on, though. They gotta be making out or like fucking or whatever. But, dude, you're right next to like a halfway busy street. And next to that halfway busy street is an actual main street. If you want to, like, get it on, fine. But go somewhere else. Or maybe they're just sleeping. I don't know. Well, like I said, this took an interesting podcast. I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes. I got to get it. Can't leave my buds wondering where I'm at. I got to record. I wasn't going to miss a whole week. I'm already upset that I missed 1 week, or 1 day, on Wednesday. Oh, by the way, fuck, I forgot to... It's Saturday, June 1st, 2019. Yeah, I forgot to do that in the beginning. Anyways, I guess I'll start wrapping it up here. This car just mad chilling behind me. I don't know what the fuck it's doing. Oh, shit. Someone just turned a light on in the car. What the fuck? This is so weird. Do they know that... Can't they see or tell that my car is on? Seriously, like, what the hell? So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk into my house really quick, and then come back out. I'm going to turn this car around and drive by it. I swear to God, if they're like... I think I should just honk the horn. just cock block them. Whatever. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna call the cops on them. I won't be that guy. But I'm definitely gonna be like, fucking lay on the horn as I drive by, like throw everything off. It won't like throw the mood off. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know who's over there, but I did see a light turn on, like within the car. But again, what the fuck? Like, look, you want to make out, fine. You want to get it on, fine. Just go somewhere else, not in front of my house. Like, come on, go around the corner even. But on my street, really? Just like, you couldn't go 2 more streets down? There's so many other better places you can go than right here. Because like I said, you're next to a halfway busy street, which is right then next to a busy street. So this is a busy place, is the moral of the story. Alright, that's 36 minutes. I think that's a good place to call it. I wish I could go longer. I'll let you know what happens with this car. If anyone's getting it on over there, fine. Whatever. I gotta get going. Anyways, thanks. Check out Corn and Cock Podcast. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.